Self-care is really important to me because I believe that in order for everything to go well in my life, then I need to be okay.
When I think of self-care, I think of things that would improve my mental and physical health.
One thing that is common all throughout is, for me, self-care means I need to be alone. I need to be away from social media, from people, from just everything.
So hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If it is your first time tuning in, my name is Zizo and I am a South African YouTuber. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for your support. So today guys, we are going to be talking about self-care. Guys, honestly speaking, it took me a very long time, to come to this point where I'm actually taking a video. These past few months, I've been wanting to do this for the past 3 months, but then I've just wanted to, do research, see what other people say, and finally get to a conclusion of what I think about self-care. And it's just also something that I've tried to introduce into my life. And that is what I'd like to share with you guys today. So I'm also going to be showing you a few clips. I asked my friends to take a video of themselves explaining what self-care means to them and what their self-care routine is. Okay, so like I said before, the reason why I decided to make this video is because I haven't really seen a lot of YouTube videos where people talk about, a proper self-care routine and what self-care is. What we see these days is, people saying that, taking a bubble bath, having a face mask, going on a spa day is a self-care routine for them, which is okay. But I just feel like self-care is just not only about doing that, but it's about a series of activities that you do on a daily basis, which will help with your well-being. So like mentally, physically, spiritually. So that is what I'd really like to do today, to get into how self-care is not just about doing all these things, but that it just goes way deeper than that. Okay, so the people that I've asked to take part in this video are my closest friends, and I'm gonna link their YouTube channels on the screen. 2 of them are YouTubers and the other one isn't.
Hi guys, my name is Benitta Danielle and I am a South African YouTuber currently living in America. If you haven't seen my channel, man, you're missing out. Head on over there, click subscribe. So the question of the day is, what do I do to practice self-care? Well, for me, this differs based on what the need is, but the one thing that is common all throughout is, for me, self-care means I need to be alone. I need to be away from social media, from people, from just everything.
Hi, my name is Tiana, and I don't really have a self-care routine. I don't think I have a list of things that I'm gonna do, and I'll know, okay, this will get me to feel better. But when I think of self-care, I think of things that would improve my mental and physical health.
So self-care is really important to me because I believe that in order for everything to go well in my life, then I need to be okay.
So it's the things that I do that will help me to be less anxious or less stressed out. But I do get nervous quite a lot, and so doing these things help me to reduce those levels, and that is what my self-care is to me. So let me give an example of what my self-care routine is. So on a day-to-day basis, this is what I do. So I would wake up, and the first thing that I do is pray, because praying honestly gives me that peace, gives me that affirmation that I can do it. It gives me that strength that I need, and that is what actually gets me throughout the day. So if I don't start my day without reading like a devotion or without praying, I know that my day is most probably not gonna go the way that I expected it to be. Obviously there's some days where I do pray, but then my day doesn't go as expected. But if I know that I haven't prayed, then I'm just already anxious and I'm already feeling a bit more nervous than usual. So praying is one of my things that I have to do, which is part of my self-care routine on a day-to-day basis. The next thing that I do is I've started getting into a routine of exercising. Like, I just feel better after exercising. I feel a lot more calm, I feel a lot more relaxed. And I have to, if I don't exercise, it's not really a train smash, but then I have to exercise in some point of the day. So it could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon. Usually in the morning I'll do stretches. I wouldn't say it's not yoga, but then I'll just do stretches, and then in the afternoon I would try and exercise. And so this also just helps me because, as you guys know, that I am starting to be a chef and we stand long hours, and so exercising just helps me with that. You know, if I don't really exercise, then I'd probably feel, you know, tired, and I don't really feel at my best. So when I exercise, I just feel better, and I just feel like I've got strength to, you know, stand the whole day. And then as I go about my day, I don't really get time to myself, to be honest, because I'm forever in the kitchen. But then I always try to make sure that in, like, let's say toilet breaks or something like that, I would always try to use it just to meditate on the word of God, because that is my strength, guys. Just getting out of the kitchen and just like, okay, because it does get stressful, it does get very it's a very hands-on thing, and I'm sure a lot of you can also relate. It's not just about, you know, being a chef, whatever career that you're in. I'm sure it's also stressful, and just having that time out can just really help you just to pull yourself towards yourself, you know, just to remind you why you're there, and that just really makes a difference. So now the next part of my self-care routine, so like I said in the other point, that exercising. So I'd exercise, just do stretches in the morning, then in the afternoon I'd probably do, like, you know, exercising, like running or something like that, and that just also helps me just to take out all that what do they call it, it just relaxes me, and it's something that I do as well. And also just taking, like, showers, that's the time when I do, you know, face masks and all of that stuff. And don't get me wrong, like, there's nothing wrong with doing a face mask and all these other things, but that's just not like your only self-care routine thing. You don't rely on that. I mean, you find that some people, like, they do their self-care routines on Sundays. Like, you do your face mask on a Sunday, you do your whatever on a Sunday, and then that's it. Like, what are you doing the rest of the 6 days? Like, what is, like, how are you keeping up with your well-being? Do you understand? So there's nothing wrong with that, but I just feel like self-care just brings that balance. And so yes, I do try to, obviously I don't do masks every day, like, there's no time for that. Like, but I do spend, like, when I shower, I love to shower. I just like, another thing that I also do is just turning off my phone, because I know that if I don't turn off my phone, sometimes I just get stressed out because of all the things that people are sending me. Sometimes I just can't keep up, you know. Sometimes, like, I go through this thing where I just, like, delete WhatsApp, I'm not on social media, don't post anywhere, just because I just need that time out. Like, I just feel like, especially WhatsApp, when I just open WhatsApp and I'm seeing like 20 messages, it honestly just freaks, like, it makes me anxious, somewhat anxious, and I just feel like I can't deal with seeing, like, so many messages and having to always constantly be available for people. I just feel like that's like, for me, it's just not, like, it's something that I can't really deal with, and I'm still learning to deal with it. Some people don't really understand it, the fact that, like, I can't always be available, and that's why I just rather delete WhatsApp. And guys, it's just my thing, and I hope there's someone out there who can relate to this, because explaining it is quite difficult, but I mean, I really try to do it now. So I turn off my phone, but I obviously have to let my family know, you know, that, okay, I'm turning off my phone, this is what's happening, because, you know, guys, we're living in a world where women are being killed and women are being kidnapped, and you can't just disappear just like that. So that is what I do. And then another thing that I do is I also try to read, whether it's food magazines or books. I really try to just clear my head and just to not focusing on school, you know, it just sets my mind on something else. Just to end off the day, I always end it off with prayer. So I have to pray. Praying just also helps, or like meditation and devotion, reading the Bible just before I pray. That's like my prayer or like meditation time. So I meditate first and then I pray. During that time, that's when I just reflect on the day. Like, okay, how did I do? Not like with school or work, whatever. We're not talking about that. I mean, like, how did I do? Like, mentally, like, how anxious was I today? How nervous was I? Could I have planned better? Could I have done this better? What do I need to do to change my self-care routine? What is it? Did I have time to even do my self-care routine? Because there's sometimes when, you know, I'm at school from like 8 and I only finish at like 5:30, and I don't even have any breaks. And so that's like, okay, so in that situation, you know, what do you do next time to make sure that even if it's just like 2 minutes to yourself, how could it have been, how can you make it better, or how can you have time for yourself? And that is what self-care really is to me, and that's what helps me get through the day, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so now I'm gonna be showing you clips of what my friends think of self-care and what their routine is.
So self-care when I'm feeling very exhausted from work or school, you know, just drained and tired, is I switch off my phone, turn on my laptop, and I binge watch a whole lot of shows, fall asleep, wake up, repeat, eat, fall asleep, you know what I mean? That's what I do, just for me to just get my mind to detox a bit, calm down, and just not overthink, you know. And the reason why it's important to turn my phone off is because if I'm on my phone, I'm going to be on Instagram, I'm going to be on Twitter, I'm going to be reading about all sorts of things that might stress me out. I'm going to be tempted to check my channel and, you know, basically get into work mode. The second thing that I do for self-care is, for me as a Christian woman, self-care also means spending time with God. So when I need self-care, I will just turn on YouTube and watch different preachings. I'll play worship music, or I'll just read the Bible and I'll pray. Just that one-on-one intimate time with God. Not that for me is like the best form of self-care, because I cast all my burdens onto Him. He says, cast all your burdens onto me because I care for you. So I just cast it all onto Him, and I definitely feel much lighter after I do that. So that's a form of self-care. And of course, in this time, it's a bit tricky because notifications and stuff still come in. Turn them off. Turn the notifications off and just spend time with God. The third thing that I do for self-care, again, is if, you know, sometimes, I don't know, I feel like I need a little magic in my life, but I need it by myself. So I take myself out on a date. Literally, I'll go for a walk, stop by at a restaurant, eat, you know, just chill by myself. My phone can be on, my phone can be off, but I will not be chatting to people. I won't talk to anyone. It's literally just me. Guys, normalize taking yourself out on a date. Normalize solo dates. It is so good for you. Normalize solo dates. That stuff is so good for you. But yeah, those are the three main things that I do for self-care, and I'd definitely love to hear what you guys do. Thank you so much, Zizo, for including me. And if you haven't subscribed to her channel, you're wasting time. Click the subscribe button. Peace and love, guys.
I think of things that would improve my mental and physical health, and usually these are things that involve moving and leaving the house, or sleeping sometimes, because like now it's a bit hectic. So I find that sleeping really helps. So when I want to get myself out of a rut, a mental rut, a physical rut, anything like that, I usually go towards exercising, going for walks, sleeping longer, writing things down. Writing things down especially helps me because I spend a lot of time thinking, and a lot of the times things are just happening inside my head, so I need to write them down, and that automatically just improves my mental health. And yeah, so self-care for me is usually just about getting myself out of a rut and feeling better, you know. And yeah, self-care is different for everyone, and I don't think that there's a specific routine that you can follow. So yeah.
I don't really have a set self-care routine, but there are certain things that I do, and the most important thing is to cut out all unnecessary things, and people included, which just bring stress in my life or anything like that. So I always put myself first. Secondly, I love to spoil myself because I do believe that I deserve all the luxury in the world. So that really plays a big part in my self-care routine. Another big part, because I'm really growing spiritually lately, so every full moon I do partake in a ritual which entails cleansing, manifestation, as well as meditation. So those are the things that I do for self-care, and just putting myself first. Yes, that's my self-care routine.
I hope this video will help you in finding a self-care routine that will work for you. This is something that didn't take me a day to figure out. Like I said, it took me a very long time to figure out, like, okay, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And for me to do that, I had to ask my friends, like, okay, like, what's your self-care routine? I know that what works for you might not work for me, but then getting that advice, getting that help, and just hearing what other people do, maybe I can try doing that, maybe I can try doing this. If it works for me, then that's cool. I'm going to try incorporate it into my routine. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. At least I've tried, and now I know. And so that's how you build up your self-care routine. You know, life is hectic, you know, and we're all just trying to figure out, you know, how to go about life, and obviously we also have to take care of ourselves. Okay guys, so this brings me to the end of my video. Guys, I forgot to say, in case if you're wondering what this hairstyle is, I did twists and yeah. Anyways guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that this video helped you guys, and if you'd like to ask any questions or would like to see anything on my channel, please let me know in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe guys. We're on the road to 500. Thank you so much guys for tuning in, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.